Hey everybody, Steuben here, and today we're going to dive into the brand new League Battle deck featuring Dragapult EX. This just released today, and honestly, this might be like the best sealed Pokemon deck ever produced because of the quantity of the cards included. Looking especially at Pheasantipity and Unfair Stamp, as well as the Dragapults. I mean, at the time of recording, before the prices probably tank from this printing, Dragapult EXs are about $4 to $5 a piece on TCGplayer. Pheasantipity has been about $10 to $13 on TCGplayer, and Unfair Stamp's been about $4 to $6 on TCGplayer. And this retails for about $30. Plus, you're getting all the other cards included. And we're gonna open this up, take a look at what's inside, and then we're gonna look at some deck lists and see what we can do to upgrade this so you can take it to your Pokemon League or whatever tournament you're trying to go participate in and make it the best you can actually make it be. Let's dive in. All right, so here we have the box. We're just gonna go ahead and savage open it from the bottom here. Easiest way into these things. I don't care about popping the top open. We're just gonna go ahead and rip that out. Throw the box off to the side. We have our little upgrade your League Battle deck sheet. Talks about other potential cards and has a long list of bullet points of what is in this. We have the poison and burn markers, which I don't need any more of. I just give them away at our LGS. Oh, and well, I'll go ahead and have to blur that out of there. Code card. You know what? No, I don't need it. You know what? Good luck. First come, first serve on the code card. Enjoy the entire Dragapult EX League Battle deck for yourself. Of course, you get some dice. I prefer to use pipped dice instead of the numbered dice. It's just a lot easier, especially when you're trying to like play a timed game. Here we have the 4 copies of Dragapult EX. I think that's a little excessive, I'm not gonna lie, but the Fez and the Unfair Stamp are great. So now let's open this up and dive in. We've got, hopefully, okay, so it is shuffled up. So I'm gonna go ahead and like go through it and sort it out. We've got Dracloak, Psychic Energy, Buddy Buddy Poffin, Natu, Tatsugiri, Iono, Ultra Ball, Arven, Dreepy, another energy. We got Zatu, Earthen Vessel, Rescue Board, Boss's Orders, Rare Candy, Arven, Energy, Professor's Turo Scenario, some Poffin, Ultra Ball, Counter Catcher, another Dreepy, TM Devolution, Iono, TM Evolution. We've got more Poffins, Switch, Dracloak, some more energy cards, Super Rod, Iono, Ultra Ball, another Tatsu, more Dracloak. We have a Mela, a second Rescue Board, Natu, Dreepy, Rare Candy, Natu, Arven, Vessel, Dreepy, Zatu, Ultra Ball, Psychic Energy, Dracloak, and Buddy Buddy Poffin. I'm going to go ahead and cut and then get this laid out as it is before we dive into any edits. Okay, and I'm back with the deck laid out here. This comes with 4 Dreepy, 4 Dracloak, 4 Dragapult, 3 Natu, 3 Zatu, 2 Tatsugiri, a Pheasantipity EX to round out the Pokemon. Into the supporters, we've got triple Arven, triple Iono, 1 Mela, 1 Turo, and 1 Boss. And then into the item cards, 4 Poffin, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Vessel, 2 Candy, 1 Rod, 1 Switch, 1 Counter Catcher, and the A-Spec Unfair Stamp. And then over in the tools, we have Evolution and Devolution for the technical machines, and 2 Rescue Boards, and then finally 6 Basic Psychic Energy and 4 Fire Energy. All in all, for a sealed product, this is pretty fantastic. Now, looking at more successful Dragapult EX decks, they definitely don't play 4 copies. Zatu hasn't really been around. Tatsugiri's not really a thing. No one's really playing Mela, but these other cards are definitely included in some capacities to a true competitive Dragapult EX deck. So we'll go ahead and now look at some cards that you should include in this list. All right, so here we are on the page for Dragapult on Limitless TCG. As always, link will be down in the description below. And you can see here, these are the core cards included. Dreepy, Dracloak, Dragapult, Badoo, Pheasantipity, Iono, Arven, Boss's Orders, Buddy Buddy Poffin, Ultra Ball, Countercatcher, Nest Ball, Rescue Board, Psychic Energy, and Fire Energy. All of those cards, except for Badoo and Nest Ball, are included in this sealed product. So effectively, you really don't need too much. And if you've opened any Prismatic Evolutions, you've probably pulled a Badoo. You most likely have Nest Balls from whatever else that you've opened and from your basic starter deck EXs. Or if you've been playing for a while, then you probably already have those cards. Scrolling down, we can see all of the latest results from the Monterey Regional Championships. And then we can also just go through and open up the entire a lot of players playing it. We also have it in the seniors division and the juniors division. We have access here in the Korean League and as well as Atlanta, Georgia. We'll start off with Andrew Hedrick's list from Atlanta, Georgia Regionals, who got second place with Dragapult. They're playing 4 Dreepy, 4 Dracloak, 4 Dragapult EX. And then they're playing the Duskull, Dusclops, and Dust Noir line with 2 Duskull, 2 Dusclops, and 1 Dust Noir. Dusclops and Dust Noir both have Cursed Blast, where you can knock it out and put damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, in able to, you know, set up extra knockouts, help damage fix the 200 damage that Dragapult does with Phantom Dive. And, you know, this one does 13 on the Dust Noir, and then Dusclops does 5. So between those, you're able to pretty much either knock out a little bit of everything, and it's pretty fantastic. Additionally, they are playing 2 copies of Badoo, the Pheasantipity EX, which as you can see has a market price of $12.94, about $13 US, and that's pretty fantastic on its own. The only other cards in here that I haven't mentioned before are going to be the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, which is about $2, and a Halucha, which is going to be less than a quarter, depending on where you pick it up. Additionally, Iono, research was not included, but you should have those. Arven, more copies of Boss. Jock is a pretty good thing. It helps counteract the Badoos with the Prismatic, the Badoo for Prismatic Evolution with Itchy Pollen. Since they're going to item lock you, Jock is just going to help you find your evolution Pokemon, and then you can help set up Dracloak a lot easier with its Recon Directive to start fitting through your deck, looking at the top 2 cards, putting one into your hand and one to the bottom of the deck. Additionally, you know, we see Night Stretcher in here. Night Stretcher needs another way to be accessed as a value player. Ultimately, Night Stretcher is in the Prize Pack Series 6 that you can get at your local Pokemon leagues, as well as Shrouded Fable, and they're fetching a couple dollars a piece. Additionally, more copies of Countercatcher are also pretty good, and they have a little bit of a price tag. But again, Nest Ball, Vessel, Candy Switch, Unfair Stamp, which you already now have from purchasing this deck, Rescue Board, and then a Luxurious Cape. Now, this same list was played by all of these players at either Atlanta or in Monterey after the fact. The other way of playing Dragapult, and we'll go and take a look at Edder's list here from Monterey. They are not playing the Ghost package. They're going 4/4 Dreepy Dracloak, 3 Dragapult, double Badoo, Pheasantipity, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and a Halucha again. This time though, we're going to see a Monkey Dory from Twilight Masquerade, as well as I believe it was also reprinted in Prismatic Evolutions, and you should have access to it through Prize Pack Series 6. And then additionally, we have the Genesect here. This is a newer inclusion in a lot of these Dragapult lists, where it has the ability Ace Nullifier. If it has a Pokemon Tool card attached, your opponent can't play any Ace Spec cards from their hand. So typically they're attaching the Rescue Board to the Genesect, so it's a free pivot every turn, and then your opponent can't Unfair Stamp, Prime Catcher, so on and so forth, with their Ace Spec cards. Additionally, this has Luminous Energy to cover both Psychic and Fire, additionally also covering the needed Dark for Monkey Dory's ability. We've got 4 Iono, 4 Arven, 2 Boss, 1 Research, 4 Poffins, 4 Ultra Balls, 3 Countercatchers, 2 Nest Ball, 2 Night Stretchers, 1 Energy Search, 1 Switch, 1 Unfair Stamp, 1 Rescue Board, 1 Defiance Band, 1 Bravery Charm, 1 Experience Share, and 2 Artisan. So looking at both of these lists, I'm going to go ahead and compile the cards physically so you can take a look at what you might want to purchase to update either one of these styles of Dragapult EX. Okay, and here I am back with a majority of the cards as I mentioned in those lists. Of course, we have the Duskull, Dusclops, and Dust Noir package, to be able to use Curse Blast to add additional damage counters. And then we've got the Monkey Dory, Ursaluna, Badoo, and Hawlucha. Typically, as you've seen, we've seen Badoo in multiple copies, at least 1 or 2 copies in most of these Dragapult lists, as well as Hawlucha and Blood Moon Ursaluna as an alternative attacker later on in the game. And we've also seen Monkey Dory. Now, if you're playing Monkey Dory, you're probably going to play Bravery Charm to increase the HP of Badoo and or Monkey Dory in certain matchups. And in terms of other tool cards, we have seen Experience Share and Defiance Band listed in some other lists. Sparkling Crystal wasn't in either of the 2 that I showed you guys, but it is a very valid option if you're uncomfortable with the timing of Unfair Stamp. And of course, for some supporters, Crispin wasn't in a lot of these lists, but it was in the past. Typically, if you're playing Sparkling Crystal, Crispin is like one of your best friends. And then we've got the Research and Jock as mentioned. Additionally, Artisan here will help you find basic Pokemon to put into play. So that's going to help you, but also it's going to also let your opponent put Pokemon into play. But again, you're taking multiple prize cards over multiple turns. And sometimes you're taking a lot of prize cards in a single turn with the combination of Curse Blast and Phantom Dive. You're going to be able to do a little bit more. And honestly, this deck is very versatile just because of how powerful Dragapult EX and Dracloak generally are. You're going to be able to experiment and build at least 3 to 4 different variations with a majority of the cards you obtained in the sealed box itself. I'll have all the links to all the lists that I covered down below in the description, and I hope you found this video helpful, informative, and instead of this time me giving you my deck list, I'm going to refer you to the pros out there winning tournaments and topping regional championships. And you can start from there and start play testing your way and find what works for you. If you found this informative at all, please let me know down below in the comments. And of course, if you're new here, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon TCG content, and of course, join the Discord for some conversations and shenanigans. I'm also a little bit of a variety streamer over on Twitch a little bit, so if you want to hang out and watch me goof off and do things that aren't Pokemon, come hang out over there. Additionally, I was invited to NAIC as a content creator, so I'll be participating in some side events and recording some content. So hopefully I'll see you guys at New Orleans in June. So with that being said, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.